Uh, okay. Okay. We're gonna work through this. All right. So, oh boy, Warner Brothers and Discovery are merging, and essentially in that merger, what is it? Discovery Plus and HBO Max. Both of those things are going to cease to exist, and they're going to come together. And when they come together, they're going to create something completely new. I don't give a shit about any of this. like I feel as though us fans, we could care less about what happens to Discovery Plus and what happens to HBO Max. All we care about is whether or not you're gonna get this DC shit fixed. And they have literally been talking about this. I'm just gonna focus on this part of the article. The article is not really that big. They spoke with Discovery CEO David Zaslav. Now, here's something super, super funny. So, when Discovery took over, Discovery basically said, okay, any of our projects that we don't believe are going to be successes, that cost more than $50 million to make, cancel them all. So, WB was like, well, we're on our way out the door anyway, because once these guys take over, they're probably going to fire us. And the reason why you're seeing a ton of stuff just get canceled left and right, the Arrowverse disappearing, Supergirl movie being canceled, the Batgirl movie being canceled, the Blue Beetle movie currently has eyes on it. Is it a movie or is it a show? Whatever's going on with Blue Beetle, people are currently looking at that too, and they're trying to decide whether or not that's also going to get the axe. All that stuff that you've been seeing get canceled, TV shows, Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Naomi, all that stuff. The third Wonder Woman movie, all that stuff is basically on the chopping block, or should I say, it was on the chopping block and it's all dead. Well, with the exception of the Wonder Woman movie, because we do not know whether or not we're getting a third Wonder Woman movie with Gal Gadot and Patty Jenkins both returning. It seems as though they may have just made those two, at least from the remarks that I'm going to read, it seems as though those two movies are going to be like the only movies that they're in, and then going forward, we're getting a reboot. Because the Discovery CEO basically said that they have a 10-year plan to reboot the DC universe minus the Matt Reeves projects. So that means that everything that Matt Reeves is doing on his end with Battinson, all of that's going forward. So the Batman, the Batman 2, the Batman like Gotham PD TV show, all that stuff is still gonna happen not only on HBO Max but also in theaters. Matt Reeves gets to continue doing what he's doing because his project was literally the only successful project that has happened in for DC for the most part, outside of like Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. It will once again be modeled after Marvel Studios under Disney. This is why Alan Horn recently left Disney for an executive position at Warner Bros. To help guide the newly created DC Studios. It's unknown if Walter Hamada will join the. Woo! Oh, you better not. Will join the newly formed studio as he is the current head of DC Films under WB. I'm telling you right now, there's no way Walter Hamada survives. There's no way. Discovery has literally been taking low-key pot shots for the last year after they acquired WB and this merger began, where they basically said literally out loud that the DC property was completely mishandled in every way, shape, and form. Every bad decision that they could have made in regards to the DC property was made, and as a direct result, we are cleaning house. That's why so many things have essentially been getting canceled. If Walter Hamada survives this, that will be a shock. I do not believe that he will, but there is still a chance that he will. And I'm really hoping that he doesn't take like a really high executive position, because I really feel as though WB should have gotten rid of him after the whole Ray Fisher thing, but that's just me. Finally, the call announced that HBO Max and Discovery Plus will discontinue starting in 2023 and be rebranded into a new streaming platform for both movies and shows. It will not pivot, blah blah blah. I don't care about that stuff. What I care about is DC characters. what I care about is this. save, save this. The DC universe needs to be saved because it is on fire. It's interesting to hear them talk about the fact that there's a 10-year plan for DC. Um, I definitely feel as though, like I said before, if they're going this route where they're clearing the board, everything has to be cleared. TV shows, movies, anything that could be a distraction or is a waste of money because they're not going to invest in a continuation of, let's say, a movie or a show. And once they take over next year in 2023 and the merger is done, that the plan is to eventually set up a 10-year plan. Kind of like how Marvel did the Infinity Saga, where it took 10 years for us to build all the way until the end. And then when we saw the end, we were like, holy shit, this is the most amazing thing that I've ever fucking seen. Yes. What does that mean? That means origin movies. Who are your core Justice League members? What are the stories that you're attempting to tell? Tell those stories. Then slowly interconnect those stories and bring the heroes together for a major threat. Then, as you continue on and the threats pile up and you discover who the true villain is. Because if you want to choose a villain, I would say the villain at the end of this, the best one to pick would be Darkseid. And you would have basically a build-up that would lead to Darkseid and Apocalypse. Because in my opinion, I feel as though the design for Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League is absolutely fantastic. I would take that Darkseid and he would essentially be, that would essentially be the way in which he looks going forward. I probably wouldn't do the New God slash New Genesis slash Darkseid designs, Apocalyptian designs, like reptiles, like the way in which Zack did. They would definitely look more human, with Darkseid looking more like a monster because he has the Omega Sanction inside of him. But yeah, dissolve this shit, rebuild it from the ground up expeditiously, because like I want that. We need that. We deserve a better DC universe across the board, 100%. Yeah, I really have. I feel like I've harped on this enough, because like it's like this entire it's funny. This year started with me going, this may be the greatest year for DC content ever. Like this may be the year of DC. And then like everything just fell apart. Ezra Miller was like, I'm gonna go to Hawaii and fight everybody. Walter Hamada was giving out secrets in the tea during like testimony. Like Amber Heard went after Johnny Depp. Jason Momoa got a divorce and was living out of a fucking trailer. Like the Shazam movie decided it was not in any way, shape, or form going to like attach itself to the Black Adam thing. The Rock was trying to like get Henry Cavill back. DC didn't want Henry Cavill back. They somehow fucking got Ben Affleck to come back. Like everything's insane. And the board needs to be wiped. It needs to be wiped. It needs to be taken care of like expeditiously. So I'm really hoping that going forward, we're going to be seeing a more structured direction for the DC Universe. A structured direction that the DC Universe deserved from forever ago, but it did not get. But yeah, that's the end of this one. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.